Well, to the first question, it's paramount. Mom and dad have to be involved in the conversation. And, the way we ensure that is that on day one, as governor, I'm going to fire most of the folks at the Department of Education, everyone involved with 57, 56, everyone involved with that June 2020 sexualized curriculum. They're all going to go. And what we're going to do is replace the Department of Education team leadership with parents, teachers, stakeholders in the Moms for Liberty movement, in the parental rights movement, in the medical freedom movement, and make sure that we have a Department of Education that focuses on two things. Number one, having parental input and guidance. And number two, having a curriculum that teaches practical knowledge, American exceptionalism, financial literacy. We're going to move away from and end the gender studies. We're going to end this confusion bomb that the NJEA is behind, which involves sexualized books in our schools. They're going to be gone. Drag queen story hour, gone. The whole idea of teaching fake American history and acting like America is this horrible institution, racist country. None of it's true. We're going to root that out of our schools. CRT is something that has to go. DEI has to go. And what we see and what I've learned over time is that most of the burden that is on parents and teachers and kids in this state come from interpretation of the law. They don't come from statutes. They come from how the departments and the bureaucracy, these unelected bureaucrats, are implementing their woke agenda. We have two problems in New Jersey. Woke Democrats who have shoved a garbage curriculum down our throats, and weak Republicans who have allowed it to happen. And as you pointed out in the intro, I have been outspoken against both over my career and then done something about it by helping replace a lot of the wokesters that were on our boards of education. But we have to, that is just the start. We have to go further and make sure the Department of Education is there as a protector of parental rights. And the way we do it, and it might lead to your second part of the question, is we have to implement school choice where the money follows the student. One, we have to have a Department of Education that represents all of the choices of schools, both charter schools, parochial schools, micro schools, homeschoolers. We have to make sure that we expand our CTE, this career and technical education, and they have to have a voice in the Department of Education. Parents need to be empowered, yes, but we also need to fix the system so parents don't feel the need to have to go protest at a Board of Education meeting. I mean, we need to solve the problem. Parents should feel comfortable and confident that their children are going to be learning the rules of the world. They're going to be learning financial literacy. They're going to be learning straightforward history. They're going to be learning math and reading. We have a crisis in this state that we have an investment of our $33 billion in real estate taxes that are collected, and between 52 and 70% of everyone's tax bill on real estate taxes goes to education. The problem is you get places like Newark where $1.1 billion are going in, 28,000 kids, and 9 out of 10 cannot do math at grade level. We're getting zero return on our investment. Meanwhile, the governor plays politics with school funding. How do we fix school funding? We've got to open up school choice. The money follows the kid. And most importantly, we have to empower charter schools. The NJEA hates charter schools. Why? Because they have the same, if not better, results as the regular traditional public schools, but the costs are 2/3. That's 67 cents on the dollar to a public school. And I'm using that as an example that we've seen in Monmouth County, Mercer County, Bergen County, Hudson County. They do it cheaper. So theoretically, you go into a place like Newark, New Jersey, and you take those 28,000 kids or 4,000 kids that want to be in a charter school. Those parents are not empowered. They are suffering while their children go through a failing public school. Immediately, we're going to pull those 4,000 kids out and get them into the charter schools that they deserve. How do you do it? You bring in private investment money to actually build the schools, trailers to start with if you have to pay the teachers, and then you redirect some of that state money, that local money that's going, and do it at a less expensive level. Now, the other side of it is you've got to empower micro schools. I have proposed, and it's something that we talk about, parental rights. Parental rights don't just involve the school. Parental rights also involve empowering mom and dad to raise their children at home. There are a lot of moms out there that would prefer to be work-at-home moms, not working a corporate job at home, but working to maintain the household and raise the children and help educate them. Education is not just in a classroom. Education is about that connection between mom and dad and child. And one of the things that I'm going to do is we're going to implement a tax credit. We're going to allow for moms to make the choice to stay at home and raise their kids. And we want to value that mom job at whatever the market will bear. So what is a mom worth? I don't know. I think it's $1 million a year. But practically speaking, let's take a household where they're earning $120,000 a year. Dad's working, mom's at home. If you value mom's job at, let's say, $60,000, all of a sudden now the household is only paying taxes on $60,000. That's how you do it, because it will save us money down the road on social services. It will lighten the load on our schools, because most teachers you talk to, they don't want to be mom and dad. They want to be a teacher. They want to help the kid grow and develop. But part of a well-rounded education is empowering parents to spend time with their kids. I want to implement a hour-per-hour trade where a child 14 years and up who volunteers for a charity on the weekends gets to use that as an hourly credit against the mandatory school requirements, so they can take days off, spend time with the family, get a job, and do the kinds of productive things that get our kids to be a part of our society. That will empower families overall.